Well, welcome, Brittany, Carol, right? Chad and Melissa, I know you too. Brittany and Carol. So my name is David Feldman, and I will kind of jump right into this. So just about me, so that we know a little bit about who's presenting tonight. So I'm a top-rated seller on Fiverr. It sounds like both of you, sounds like you're not familiar with Fiverr, or you are?
No, I know what it is. I've not used it, but I know what it is.
Okay, are you? Okay. So yeah, so Fiverr is a freelance platform, and the concept, it started as a concept of what will you do for $5, but it's grown into basically the biggest freelance platform. So it could be good for a lot of things for you who's looking to start a business or you who's running a marketing campaign. There's a lot of people on there like me, for example, that can do a lot of different things for you. Copywriting, which is what I'm focusing on tonight, which is what I generally do on Fiverr. But there's all sorts of pretty much anything you can imagine, it's there on Fiverr. So I am a top-rated seller. So they have tiered sellers on Fiverr, and you kind of have to earn your way up and do really good work and get really good ratings. So I've been on there for almost over 4 years, probably coming up on 5 years now. And I've got over 2,000 5-star reviews. So a lot of work. I've written hundreds of blogs, hundreds of websites, hundreds of email campaigns, hundreds of brochures, flyers, anything you can think of, any industry, any niche, anything I've written on it. So that's me. Also, the owner at Feldman Weber. So Feldman Weber is a full-service digital agency that I run with a partner, Matt Weber, and he's up in Alaska. We're down here in Idaho. So everybody works remotely, but we run a full-service agency end to end. We can help any company all the way from starting the website, doing SEO, doing Facebook marketing, any sort of thing that they need for their digital presence, we can provide that. So that's another thing that we do. I'm also an entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur. I love doing lots of things. One of the things I've been dabbling in lately is e-commerce. So I know you mentioned e-commerce a little bit, so I'm happy to answer any questions you have there. But I've been doing e-commerce a little bit, and that's been going pretty well as well. That actually kind of falls under my digital marketing agency as well. It's owned by that. So that's a little bit about me. So tonight is mainly about copywriting. So we're focusing on copywriting and how important it is for your business. If you're starting a business, copywriting's huge. If you think about it, and I want to tell a story a little bit here. So when I was on Fiverr, actually, when I first started on Fiverr, I had actually been a financial analyst for a couple of years, for about 10 or 15 years. And when I started on Fiverr, my wife and I actually went to travel around. I quit my job. We were traveling around Europe, and I was trying to figure out ways to make money online. And I kind of knew about Fiverr, and I thought, oh, well, I'll just get onto Fiverr, and I'll offer. I'm a financial analyst, so I'll offer spreadsheets, I'll do financial modeling for people, I'll do PowerPoint presentations, and I'll make money online. So I did that, and I didn't get very many orders. Nobody really came. So what I did is I thought, oh, geez, I said, well, I'm going to go look around at the various categories in Fiverr and see like who's getting jobs, like who's making money here. So I actually stumbled across, not copywriting yet, but I stumbled across brainstorming. I saw that there was people out there that were generating name ideas for people's businesses. Somebody was starting a business, or somebody was starting a program at their work or something, or a community event, and they wanted a name for it, or they were writing a book and they wanted a name for it. And I saw that these guys or girls that were doing this had 10, 20 orders in their queue and thousands of reviews. And I thought, holy cow. Geez, they seem to be busy. I could come up with names for people. So I started providing names for people, 5 names for $5. And it started going well. I started actually making money. And, $500 a month, $600 a month, $700 a month started going pretty well. And I thought, wow, geez, I wonder who else here on Fiverr is making lots of money and has lots of orders. So I started digging deeper. And I came across copywriting. At the time, which is kind of funny, I'd always been doing copywriting because I'd always been entrepreneurial and I'd always kind of been into that marketing aspect of things, but I actually didn't even know what copywriting was. So I saw copywriting, and I thought, what is copywriting? And I looked at it and I realized what it was. And I was like, oh, copywriting, I can do this. And I saw, just like brainstorming, there was people that had 20 orders in their queue, 30 orders in their queue, thousands of reviews. And I was thinking, holy cow, people obviously need copywriting. So I hung up my sign and I started doing copywriting for people. And if you think about it, the world that we live in right now, we've got our cell phones, we've got our smartphones, and the need for copy is just expanding. You can probably relate to this as a marketing professional. You've got to have copy for, you've got to send flyers out to people, you've got to update your social media profiles every day. You've got to write a blog post, you've got to have website content, you've got to refresh your website content, you've got to send text messages to people, you've got to, I mean, there's a million reasons why you need copy, and it's just exponentially growing. It will never go away. It'll just keep getting bigger and bigger. As new platforms come online, people start having new ideas. You're just always going to be right there in front of people's face with words, and that's just how it's going to be. So copywriting, why is it important? Differentiates you from the crowd, engages your audience. Good copywriting does this. Keeps you on the front of mind for your customers. But I think the most important thing about copywriting is makes you lots of money if you're good at it. Or whoever you're doing it for makes them lots of money. Okay? So, what makes a good copywriter? So we have a small poll here. I'm going to have you raise your hand of which one you think is the best, like what makes you a great copywriter on this list here. Just
I guess that'd be cheating.
so
Is it none of the above?
Wow, you are a straight A student. You are a straight A student. So it's not grammar, it's not punctuation, it's not an English degree, it's not, even a passion for writing. Like, it's none of those, really. Because copywriting is way more than just writing. Copywriting is persuasively getting your ideas across. Tell a lot of people that a copywriter is a salesman behind a typewriter, because it's just somebody that knows how to connect with people. And so this is what I think creates a good copywriter or a great copywriter. Life experience. People that can draw on a lot of different things, that they know a lot of different areas. They've been different places. If you've been to Boise, Idaho, you can write a really good article about the 10 top things to do in Boise, Idaho for some blog or something. And it's just the ability to kind of connect with people. A good salesman, I mentioned that, questioning everything. This is kind of one thing that I think makes a good copywriter, is always on the lookout for anything and everything around you. If you are, I don't know if you guys are like this, but this is how I am. My wife loves it when I do this, but everywhere I go, I see signs, I see posters, and I'll say, oh, geez, whoever wrote that, that's terrible. They should be fired. I walk into McDonald's and I see their headline on their little banner when you walk in. I'm like, wow, whoever wrote that was good. That's good, And so I'm on Facebook actually every day, all the time, or Instagram or wherever, and I'm scrolling. I hardly pay attention to what my friends or anybody posts. I'm looking at the ads. I'm looking at, oh, how did that guy say? Oh, that's interesting how they wrote that. That's, I'm basically scanning my Facebook every day looking for ads, how somebody wrote it, how somebody presented it, what kind of language they used, what kind of anything that they used. And so that's what I think makes a great copywriter. Somebody that's always questioning, paying attention to everything, evaluating, like, oh, I could, what would I write there if I were writing this headline for Coca-Cola or something, like what would I have said on their commercial? Like when I watch TV, that's what I think. So and then a wide variety of skills. That's kind of what I said with life experience. Or if you don't have a wide variety of skills, the ability to Google and quickly learn. I get people all the time on Fiverr that ask me, "Hey, David, loved your profile. I need you to write, an article on, the top 10 reasons why a dietitian would, why you should see a dietitian." And they'll be like, "Can you do that?" And my thought is, I have no idea why you would see a dietitian. I mean, this is an example. I kind of do have an idea there, but so, my thought is, well, I've never written that. I don't know. But of course I can. I can Google it. I can figure it out. I can research it enough to speak intelligently on it and write something that sounds good and convincing. Uniqueness and originality is important as well. So one of the things about a great copywriter is somebody that writes differently than everybody else. I kind of talked a little bit about our smartphones and about how the content is just exploding. The problem is most of that content is the same. Most of it is boring. Most of it nobody pays attention to because it's just noise. So one of the keys to being a great copywriter is taking unique approaches at things, thinking of how you can do it differently than anybody's ever done it before, thinking of how you can write it to where it doesn't sound like every other person that's written this. For example, with our Feldman Weber company, we're working with a dentist right now in Portland, and we're trying to be unique. We're creating a whole website for them. We're going to be doing all of their marketing. We're going to be doing their Facebook marketing, all this stuff. And part of the sales pitch to this dentist was, we're going to make you unique. Every other dentist, if you go to their website, go home tonight and you can do this. Go home and Google dentist Boise or something, dentist anywhere, dentist California. You'll get a list of dentists. You go on their website, and there'll be a movie that pops up, and it's this kind of happy, feel-good movie, and the dentist is sitting there like, "Oh, I just love my patients. It's just so fun," and it shows like a slow motion of him high-fiving a patient, and then it shows a patient. She's like, "Oh, Dr. So-and-so, he's just always been so good to my family." And then it shows the doctor like getting ready to go fishing, and like, it's the same movie. Everybody's doing it. Somebody decided that was cool, and it works, which is why people are doing it, but it's so saturated at this point that every single dentist has that video. I'm telling you right now, go and Google it tonight. You'll see every dentist has that video. So we said, yeah, we're going to be unique. We're going to come at it at a different angle. We're going to make you cool. We're going to make you fun. We're going to make you different. We're going to make you unique. We're going to make you stand out, and that's how we're going to make you stand out. So that's what a good copywriter, a good marketer is going to do, is take a different approach, burn a new trail. So last one, ability to connect with anyone. This is, I think, very important for copywriting, because when you're writing copy, when you're starting a business, running a marketing campaign, doing whatever you're doing, you are talking to various audiences. So one thing that I'm pretty good at is just getting along with anybody, talking to anybody, and kind of shooting the breeze with whoever. And that's kind of a good skill to have as to be a good copywriter. If you can connect with people, understand like what they want, and we're going to get a little more into this going forward, but that is what makes a good copywriter. Okay, so we're going to jump right into this. Facebook ads. I don't know, you might be running Facebook ads for your doctor's office.
Okay yet, but I can bring them together. So.
Okay, yeah, so I know Chad runs Facebook ads. Melissa does help me with my Facebook ads as well. So, and if you're starting a business, most likely you're going to be running some sort of paid marketing campaign, Facebook ads, Google ads, all sorts of different ads out there. But here's a little cheat sheet, and this kind of goes with the whole uniqueness. So we got to remember with Facebook ads, and copy in particular with Facebook ads, that we're trying to stand out. Facebook specifically is interruption marketing. People are not going there like they're going to Google to find what they're finding. With Facebook marketing, you're interrupting what they're doing. They're trying to see what their friends are doing, what their family ate for dinner, and and so you're interrupting what they're doing. So what do you have to do? You have to convince them and you have to make them pay attention to you. So how do you make them pay attention? First of all, you make an exciting offer. Second of all, you don't show them the same thing that they've seen 100 times. Because if they've seen it 100 times, their brain will filter it out from the get-go. They won't even see it, okay? So how many of you have seen an ad that says, tag a friend that would love this, or seen an ad that says, on sale today, or comment if you would wear this, or tag a friend? Like, this is what I'm telling you is no. Like, don't do that anymore. It's old. It's used. The people that are out of touch are doing this, okay? People that are in touch are doing things like this, where, instead of like tag, you would say, hey, do you know somebody like this? Or instead of discount, be like, this is the lowest I've seen this. Or, you can read for yourself. But the idea is it's different. It's more personal. That's another thing, is you want to come across as very personal. So that's a good little cheat sheet there. Second thing for Facebook ads, don't be afraid to use emojis. This is a little secret here, okay? So people love emojis. I talked about interruption marketing. When it comes to catching people's attention, anything that can capture their attention is pure gold. So people respond to this. It adds some color. It adds, I don't know exactly what the science is behind it, but there's been a lot of testing. I've even done testing myself with multiple Facebook ads, and ads with emojis work. I had a mentor when I was learning how to do Facebook ads that told me to put in emojis, and I personally don't like emojis, but he told me to put them in. I was like, really? Like, who? Why emojis? And he said, just do it. It works. And
What kind of emojis?
so that's a good question.
There's a lot.
There is a lot. So there's a website called SyncSumo where you can go and look at all the emojis to copy for Facebook. But it depends on your crowd. It depends on who you're catering to. And if you start scrolling through your Facebook feed and you see, you can do this tonight, you'll see ads. Some of them will use emojis, some of them don't. But it kind of depends, if you're going for, you're going to see this on my next slide, if you're going for more of a Harley Davidson biker or something, you might throw some skulls on there or something. Or if you're going for a little 18-year-old girl and you're trying to sell her a dress, I don't know, you might go with the heart eyes or something. I would test it, but generally there's websites that you can go to that have them all listed out like that you can just pick. I wouldn't say that really matters, but just something that catches their attention. A lot of people will put the little flames if there's something on sale.
Everybody loves a heart. I have found everybody loves
Yeah.
a heart.
Everybody loves a heart, and some people like black hearts, okay? So,
That's exactly what we use.
perfect transition. So, I don't know if you can read this, but I also want to say on Facebook marketing and Facebook advertising, when it comes to copy, and you're going to hear this from me a lot tonight, keep it simple, keep it simple. People try to overthink things way too much. You actually, if you don't think about it and you just kind of go with your gut reaction and keep it simple, that's generally better. So this ad right here is an ad for a black skull ring. And it's got a couple emojis up here. You can see that. And it says wedding. I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says wedding or no wedding, you need this ring. And these are actually emojis right here as well, little arrows. And it has a link. And that's it. It's got down here, it says 75% off. So there's no exclamation point, and it says free shipping. So the other thing with selling today, as far as copy goes, is you want to just present information. People don't like being sold. People hate being sold. If they feel like they're being sold something, they don't like it. They just like the information to be presented to them and let them make a choice. So 75% off, they're like, wow, that's 75% off. This could be a good deal. I'm going to make the decision to go look at this because somebody's telling me that it's a really good deal. Free shipping. Oh, man, I had to pay $5 for that shirt I bought online last week. These people say free shipping. Okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll check this out. And then, so this ring right here is going towards the targeting on it for Facebook. Once you get into Facebook ads, you're going to have to pick who you're targeting, your audience. And this is going towards goth people, like goth or, you know, grunge, alternative, counterculture type people. So what do those people think? This is my thumbnail. This is our thumbnail right here. And the main text on there says be different. So you got to think, we're trying to talk to these people that somebody that would wear a black skull wedding ring. These are not, I would say, typical people. So they're different. So yeah, be different. That's exactly who these people are. These are not, if I was trying to sell a little heart ring, again, to a little 18-year-old girl or something, I might say something like, get one just like your friend, or something like that, because what do they want to do? They just got out of high school. All they want to do is be like their friends, right? So it's a different, you're catering, you're creating copy that goes to the audience that you're trying to target. Later on in this video, it says something like, being like everyone else sucks. And so it's just building up this mentality of you're creating a relationship with this person, like, hey, I'm with you here. I understand you. I know you. Like, this is how it is. So very simple ad, nothing much to it. That ad has nearly 7.3 million views and counting, and it's produced hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. Just
Are you gonna show that
that single ad.
video?
Yeah, sure. Show it. Do you have it up? Yeah. There's a lot of factors that play into this. Music, the creative, the pictures, the design, the copy. So a successful Facebook ad is a lot of them. Copy is part of it, and copy is an important part of it, but there are a lot of factors. Like Melissa was saying, there's a lot of factors that play into it. And so for that reason, for Facebook marketing, we'll kind of get to this here in a second, the second to last bullet, but I'm going to go over some of the rules for Facebook marketing, David's rules for Facebook marketing, okay? So write to the audience that you're targeting. So we kind of covered that a lot. Match your copy with your creative, keep it simple, we covered all this. Catch their attention, good deals, emojis, we've talked with this, and then this is what I wanted to talk about, is test your ad copy. So you, very rarely do you hit it on the first try. Sometimes you do, but often you don't. So it is a matter of testing different, testing different emojis. You might test different emojis. Literally, one emoji could get way different results than a different one. So test your ad copy. Always be testing and seeing what works the best. And then placing key messages in your ad images or videos. So that was what I was kind of talking about right here, the be different. So, and that's specifically on the thumbnail. So you want it, when people see it immediately, you want the main message that you're getting across to be front and center right there in your ad image. So right there, somebody's scrolling through that, they see a really cool ring and they see be different. And immediately they're like, ooh, I want to watch this, and they watch it. Be different, 2 words. It's nothing fancy. Okay. Any questions about Facebook marketing? It can be anything about Facebook marketing, actually, but copy specifically, but anything.
So, do you, like, when you're doing a Facebook ad, do you lean more towards, like, images or videos? Or, I guess, does it depend?
I believe personally that I've seen people be very successful with both, with images and videos. I have personally had the most success with videos. And I think everything is going more towards videos. I think people like videos. People engage more with videos. So if I had to recommend something, whenever I run Facebook ads, I rarely run images anymore. I've seen people do it, and they get tons of success, and I'm like, how do they do that? Like, they just have a picture there, but they're doing it. But for me personally, I try and do that, and it never works, so I always fall back on videos because videos tend to work pretty well.
And what's the limit on like a Facebook ad for a video? Is there like 30 seconds?
Is there a limit on Facebook ad? I know with Instagram it's 1 minute. With Facebook, I don't know if there's a limit, honestly. I don't,
There's no limit.
I don't think there's a limit.
I think, at least I found like there's a sweet spot as far as the amount of time people will actually be interested, unless it's really good, or I mean, you really know the audience, so they'll stick around for longer content. But I feel like 15 seconds-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
if
if
that, like just at the right time, you're like, oh, it's over. Like you're not
Yeah.
annoyed.
it depends on what you're selling, really. I mean, if you're selling a physical product like this, yeah, 15 seconds, 20 seconds max. If you're selling maybe dietitian services or something like that,
I do a lot of like, let's have you see a doctor. So you can't like promote
Yeah.
being sick.
yeah,
So you kind of have to promote them as the provider.
exactly.
So that's the kind of the trouble that I've been running into is like, okay, do we promote like us or do we promote the main doctor? And then like
Yeah.
we have a video being made right now of like everyone. And
Yeah.
I had a photographer put it all together, and so I want to put it on our website, but I feel like it'd be too long for a Facebook ad.
Yeah, it might be. It kind of depends. Like for doctors and dentists and different things like that, if you do like, you can get away with long, like a minute or a minute and a half, I think, if it's kind of a testimonial or an interview, as long as it's engaging. But we're going to get a little bit into that because I do have some ideas or I have some opinions on that, as far as websites specifically for doctors and dentists on what you should focus on as far as bringing people in. So I've got some ideas on that. We can, if I don't cover it here, we should talk afterwards because I have some opinions on that. But we're going to get into it. Actually, in this next thing, we're going to kind of talk about it a little bit. Okay, so this is with email campaigns. So here, I want you can't read this very well probably, so I'm going to read it to you. So this is an email. So let's pretend that you're a salesperson and you sit down to write a nice introductory email like this. So it says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Moneybags. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jason McSucketwriting, and I work for Ajax Steel Tubing Company right here in Boise, Idaho. We are a premier supplier of tubing that focuses on quality steel products and accessories. We have a full line of tubing that is very comprehensive and customizable to fit your individual needs. Our company has been around since 1958 and was founded by Stan Steele and is now run by his son. We are a family company and place high priority on our valued customers. We hope to be a good fit for your company. Please call me at your earliest convenience. I would love to talk to you about Ajax Steel Tubing Company. Sincerely, Jason." Okay, so this is a email to Mr. Moneybags. Good or bad? Good or bad? I'll just get to the point here. Bad, terrible. Delete it. It's a terrible email. This is the same email that Mr. Moneybags is getting literally 20 times a day. Okay, so here's what I had up there. Why on earth would Mr. Moneybags read that email? He's probably either gonna, like I said, blow his brains out because he does not want to read that email. He's seen it 20 times a day, or he's gonna delete it immediately. He doesn't get anything out of it. He doesn't benefit from it, and he doesn't even know what to do next. So you just wrote him an email that he'll never read, he'll never respond to, okay? So this is kind of what I want to talk about a little bit, is when you're writing to people, you're focusing on what's in it for them. How does it benefit them? And to do that, you have to think about what they care about so that you can present to them like what they care about. So Mr. Moneybags, so let's take this as a case study and think, what does Mr. Moneybags care about? He cares about himself, first and foremost. He cares about his kids. He cares about his wife, possibly. He cares about his making his boss happy. He cares about doing business with people who won't screw him over. and he cares about making lots of money. So, did any of the previous email address any of those points? No, it didn't. Okay? So, let's do it. Let's do a different email. Hey, Mr. Moneybags. I know you buy from Federated Steel. Their tubing lasts only 5 years and costs nearly 1.5x the standard market price. I can save you 30% on your production costs before the quarterly numbers come out. Let me know if you're interested, Jason. That's better, right? So now you're tapping into he wants to meet his quarterly numbers because he wants to look good in front of his boss. And you're going to make him lots of money because you're going to help him get a raise. He's going to save lots of money, make money, look good in front of his boss. So now we're starting to touch on a couple things that might give him a little bit of reason to respond. So here's another. Let's go from good to great. So this is the next email that I would write if I were here. Okay? And this email kind of goes into how copywriting, and I said if you're a good copywriter, you have to be able to use Google really well. Because you have to do a little bit of research, you have to find out a little bit of information, because the more informed you are, the better copy you can write. Okay? So, hey, Mr. Moneybags. I have 4 ways to make your job overseeing the dredging process easier and save a ton of money for your company before quarterly earnings. Let me show you right now. 1, there's a new process of connecting steel tubing called Bergenon method of welding. Implement this with your production team, immediate savings of 20%. Here's the PDF how to do it, attached. Okay, we'll continue reading down the email. 2, the biggest waste of man hours for tubing installation is the dredging process. You can save 30% a day on labor by using Krager trucks instead of the industry standard Minker trucks. I'll even hook you up with the guy that does our dredging. He saves us about $75,000 a day when we use him. 3, there's a piece of software to manage the whole tubing process called Steel Weld World. That speeds the whole process up and lets you keep closer track of your workers. You should really check it out. Our company saved $50,000 a day in weld times. 4th, I've got a 4th way, but it's too darn good to give away in an email, which I don't even know got to you. So there's a little personal, that's the other thing, is you want to personalize the email. Make them think like, oh, I'm actually reading it from a person that actually wrote this and is thinking and wondering, am I reading this email? If you're actually reading this, ring me up and I'll tell you. Hint, it's a trick that allows your company to undercut your top competitor and still make a profit. Call me this week, Jason. Okay, so what did we do here? What was different that we did from the very first email to the very last email? First of all, we're focusing on benefits to him. Second of all, we're giving him tons of information that's going to help him. He's going to take this email, he's going to go to his boss, and he's going to say, hey, boss, I came up with these. He's going to steal your ideas. He's going to say, I came up with these 3 things that we can do to save tons of money. He's going to look in front of his boss. He's going to get a raise. He's going to look really smart. He's going to feel really cool about himself. So it benefits him. It all benefits him. That's what the whole email is about, is benefiting him. If he has no reason to benefit, he will never respond. Okay? So this is kind of where I go back to the whole dentist or doctor thing, is doctors historically typically like to present themselves like, hi, I'm a doctor and I'm really good at curing people, and I went to this medical school and I know all this information about diets and stuff. But somebody reading that on a website or on a bio or anywhere like that, or watching it in a movie, they don't care. So that's why we told our dentist, don't put a movie where it's like, oh, hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so, and we believe at our office, our mission statement is that we provide the best care. Because nobody cares about your mission statement. Nobody cares that you're Dr. So-and-so. They care, can you make me, if you're a dietitian, can you make me lose weight? Can you make me not feel sick? I've got some chronic thing where I'm tired all the time. Can you help me fix that? What can you help me do? That's what the focus of, in my opinion, of videos, website content, website marketing should all be this type of stuff. Hey, I can help you overcome this. Hey, you're struggling with weight loss. We're going to give you this, and literally 3 weeks from now, you're going to feel amazing compared to how you feel today. Oh, okay, now I'm interested. That's way better than, hey, Dr. Scott was graduated from Stanford and has all the latest things and he loves to go fishing and whatever. So it's all about benefit, emphasizing the benefit to the customer because that's all they care about. Okay. So with email campaigns, this is going to kind of start sounding like a broken record because it's very similar for all of them. It's very, very similar to Facebook marketing. Be unique. Understand your audience. Make it about them. Keep it short. Hook them immediately from the start. Personalize it as much as possible. Always include a call to action. Create a compelling subject line. Okay. Any questions about email marketing before I move on? So that was email marketing, but you can use that for any sort of any sort of interaction with customers. Okay, websites. So websites, as a professional copywriter, I see a lot of problems with a lot of websites. The main problem is people try too hard to communicate too many things, and they confuse and they create confusion in people's mind. Okay, so these bullet points aren't quite as big as I want them. Hopefully you can read them. But the one thing that my recommendation is for anybody creating a website, if you're starting a business or you have your own website for a dietitian or something, you need to clarify your message as simple, as basic, as fundamental as you possibly can, as clear as you possibly can. That is the key to good website copy. Less is more, simple is better. Make it as simple as you can. So for example, we are drawn to clarity and resist confusion. If your message is not more clear than your competitor, if your message is more clear than your competitor, you win. That's a key statement right there. That's one worth writing down is, if your message is more clear than your competitor, you win. I'm thinking about this from a dietitian standpoint. Like if I'm a dietitian, I'm trying to market myself. If I can more clearly communicate to the people of Boise what I can do for them compared to another dietitian down the road, I'm going to win all day long. Everybody will come to me if I can clearly communicate that. So that's the key. People don't buy the best products and services. They buy the ones that they can understand the fastest. That's kind of going along with that point that I said just above it is, I'm going back to the dietitian here because we have a dietitian here, but if I'm a dietitian, if I can tell you exactly what I can provide very fast, very clear, compared to some guy that's a super expert down the road that maybe has been a dietitian 20 years longer than me and knows way more, but if he can't communicate it and clearly define what he can provide to people, I'll take him to town every day of the week. So that's where I say you may spend a day deciding what headline you're going to put on the top of your website, but that could be a day well spent. If you'd spend the entire day on 2 words, 3 words at the top of your website, it's that important, especially for website content. So it's all about clarifying your message. And people, when I say people are trying too hard to include everything, so think about this. Here's another example. Somebody that does painting. Let's just say there's a guy that runs a painting company, and he paints houses, he paints outside of buildings, he paints the stripes on the road, he paints statues, he resurfaces statues and stuff like that. So he's going to, on his website, he wants to say, Feldman Painting Company, we paint houses, businesses, and restructure or, resurface whatever, statues. And my thought on that is, okay, how can you simplify that? How can you simplify that? Because business owners tend to think that they have to communicate everything that they do, otherwise they'll miss out on somebody that doesn't know something. So they'll miss out if I don't tell them that I do SEO and Google ads and Facebook ads and, whatever, Instagram, and I can help them with their LinkedIn profile, and I can help them set up a Twitter. You know, if I don't tell them all that, then I might, you know, they might not know that I do that. No, you know, all you have to say is Feldman Weber, digital, you know, professional digital marketing, or Feldman Paint Company, we paint things. Like it just has to be that simple, because people will get it, and they'll actually appreciate the simplicity. And you'll have the opportunity, once you catch their attention later on a phone call or somewhere, to clarify all these points that you don't have to clarify on your website. It's better to leave it simple. So touch on pain points. On a website, you want to touch on pain points pretty much right out of the gate, but you don't want to go overboard, because fear marketing is like salt. A little bit is good, too much ruins everything, okay? So you want to present them with a problem, and then you want to show them the path to safety. And this kind of goes back to the whole benefits. You emphasize the benefits of them. You got to realize, when you're marketing to people, you're not marketing yourself. You are marketing the benefits, and you are presenting yourself as a guide to take them where they want to be. So if you're a dietitian, you're not marketing like, hey, I'm the best dietitian in town. No, you're marketing, hey, you're overweight, you want to lose some weight. I actually know how to do this. It's 4 simple steps. Let me show you how to do it. People will follow that, as opposed to coming to a website where it says, we're the best dietitians and we know everything about diets, and we know how to lose weight, and we know how to get you to lose weight, and it doesn't make sense. They don't care about that. And then features. Don't sell features, sell benefits. This is another point that we're kind of going after here. They're all kind of in the same ballpark. But here's a couple examples. It's not an office chair. You're not selling an office chair. You're selling less back pain. Like, oh, this office chair will help me not have a sore back? Oh, I'm interested in that. It's not a haircut. It's looking sharp for your next interview. It's not a laser pointer. It's hours of fun with your cat. That's what you're selling. You're not selling, this laser pointer is cool and fun. You're selling, you're going to have so much fun with your cat. You get the point. So, keep it simple, more is less. People have very short attention spans. So you want to present the information as fast as possible, make them on a website. I already mentioned this before, people don't like to be sold. They want the information immediately, and they want to decide. So that's what a good copywriter will do. They'll present the information, let them decide in a convincing way, and let them decide. So they think they're the ones doing it. Keep it conversational, don't be too fancy. Good copywriters actually make grammatical errors, they have problems. Don't use too much industry jargon. Use short paragraphs, if you even have to use paragraphs at all. And use bullet points and lists. People love bullet points and lists. All right, so here's the general outline for a website. And I'm cruising through these last slides because we're running short on time. So stop me if you have any questions. So start with a clear headline, have a clarifying statement, touch on some pain points, present yourself as a solution, validate yourself with some testimonials or case studies or stats, explain why you're the best, recap the offer and benefits, give them a list. Now this is one of the most important things, is giving them a list. And this is one thing that I don't see on a lot of homepages, but pretty much every website that we build at Feldman Weber will have a website that's laid out like this, where they have steps. Because people like to be told what to do, actually. I'm kind of contradicting myself. People don't like to be sold, but people do like to have a clear path of knowing what to do. They want to see like what's going to happen in the future. And if they can see it and there's no question or confusion or uncertainty, then they're not afraid to take the next step. So if you can lay out steps, step 1, give us a call. We'll have a free discovery session and we'll see how what's causing your whatever, back pain or something. Step 2, we'll set up an appointment with the doctor and you'll do a 1-hour evaluation and da-da-da-da-da. Step 3, you'll be happy forever and never have back pain. Okay, I mean, it can just, you can think through it a little bit more, but there's steps. Any industry, any place, I would say 95% of the time, a website, a homepage should have steps that lead somebody and tell them how to get started. And then it ends with a strong call to action. So you have steps so that they can clearly see where they should go, and then you finish with a strong call to action. CTA, some people call it, okay? You can introduce scarcity or things like limited time offer if you want to. Okay, so here's an example of a bad website. This is actually my dentist. Very nice guy, really like him, but his website's terrible, and he hasn't hired me to fix it yet. So, welcome to Stone Creek Dental. Being a little sarcastic here. Never seen a headline like it. Have you guys seen a headline like that before? I've never seen a headline like that before. That's pretty original, right? Okay, no, that's actually a terrible headline. Welcome to Stone Creek Dental. That's possibly the worst headline you could ever come up with. A wall of text. You come to this site right here, you're not reading that. You're too busy. Everybody's too busy. Nobody's going to take, I saw that and I said, I'm not reading that. Nobody's reading that, okay? And there's no call to action. Literally, this is a screenshot from his website. You scroll down, there's no call to action. It just goes down to his footer, and there was no call to action. There might be some things over, he's got this or something, but like there's no structure to it. There's no guidance. There's nothing. Okay, so here's a better example. Beautiful software for growing churches. I know exactly what these people do. They make software for churches. It's very simple. If I'm a church, I'm like, oh, I need software. I have a whole mess of, I want to talk to my people. I want to see how many donations I'm getting every week. Like, okay, this is cool. And then they have a little clarifying statement. So I know exactly what they do. They have a clarifying statement, simple benefits. A powerful platform created to help you connect with visitors, equip your team, and grow your people. So this is going to help me connect with my congregation. It's going to help me equip my team. Like I can keep in touch with people. Like it's very simple. And then look at this, empty space. Sometimes the best copywriters, it's not, I like to say this, it's not what you say, it's what you don't say. That's what makes a good copywriter, actually. It's if you can say it in less, with less, you're better off. Just less is better. And there's a clear call to action. This is a screenshot, so this is kind of right here on the phone. It looks like it's part of the phone, but if you scroll on the website, it's responsive. But it says get started today. Very simple, nothing complex. Here's another Invisalign. This was a mobile. I did mobile, so I had to do it. But great headline, benefit driven. There's a call to action, simple and clear product validation. They're validating product. No paragraphs. It's all conversational writing. There's hardly any text here. I mean, there's no paragraphs. And it's got a really good call to action. Stop scrolling, start smiling. That's a really good call to action. Whoever wrote that deserves a raise. That's good. Okay? So now we're going to cover SEO and then we're going to be done. Okay. And I know you mentioned SEO, so if you have any questions. Did anybody have any questions actually, sorry, first about website marketing? We can, for sake of time, I'm going to keep going, and whoever wants to stay after can ask questions after. Okay, so 2012 called, they want their SEO strategy back. All right, if you think that keyword stuffing is going to help you and spammy backlinks, as many backlinks as you can get, this kind of stuff, it's not working anymore. With all the updates, recent, Panda, Penguin, Fred, all the algorithm changes, Google, and this is good for copywriters, people like me, Google is going more towards quality content, okay? So they are rewarding websites mostly for their ability to grip people in, hold them on the website, and do what the website wants them to do, like push buttons and go deeper into the website. They have an algorithm that's smart enough to see, like, all these things. Google monitor bounce rate. So when a person leaves your website from the landing page without browsing any further, so they're tracking your bounce rate. They're tracking your page depth, average number of pages your visitors view during a single session, dwell time, how long are they on your site. All these things, like, and they're, did they push the button you wanted them to push? Did they push your call to action button? Google is smarter than all of us in this room combined, and it knows all of this stuff. And really, what it's coming down to is quality content. If you can try and put some words in there, and you still want to put some keywords in there, and there's some science and art behind that. But I work with my partner. He's really the SEO, Doogie Howser, and he says that basically a lot of times when we're writing SEO, he's like, just write an article, just normally the way you would do it. Don't try and put keywords in there, just make it entertaining, make people want to read it. Because he understands that an article that people actually go there and read it and spend 5 minutes reading down a 1,000-word article and being entertained and then clicking a link at the bottom will get way better SEO results than trying to put, fishing guide, Alaska fishing guide, fishing guide services, Alaska fishing guide, book your Alaska fishing guide to go on your Alaska fishing guide trip today in Alaska's fishing guide best places to go. Like, nobody wants to read that, okay? And Google is stopping that. They knew that people were doing that, so they're stopping it. So content has to be relevant, engaging, it has to make people want to read it, and it has to improve your dwell time. So most SEO experts are saying longer is better now. So for SEO, probably 500 words is okay, but 2,000 words would be better actually. As long as it's engaging, as long as it's capturing their attention. Probably 1,000 to 2,000 words if you're really wanting an optimized blog post or article or advertorial type of thing. 1,000 words or more is probably what you want. Do your keyword research, 1 to 2 long tail keywords. I don't know if you guys know what long tail keywords are.
I was gonna ask you what that is, I don't know.
Yeah, so a long tail keyword is, let's just say, running shoes. A long tail keyword would be more of like a sentence that somebody is actually typing into Google, like, what are the best running shoes? That would be a long tail keyword. Or what, the most comfortable running shoes or something like that. That would be a long tail keyword. So it's more of a phrase that people would naturally type into a browser or search engine, okay? So 1 to 2, you want to focus on 1 to 2 of those. You don't want to do keyword stuffing. I already mentioned that. And you do want to do keyword research. Keyword research is important. If you guys need that, I can help you. We can help you do keyword research. But you do want to kind of identify areas that are basically not super competitive but have decent traffic and start targeting your long tail keywords to those, and you'll start getting traffic. Inbound marketing is what it's called. Okay? There are other factors that help with SEO. So mentioning keywords at the beginning of title tags, using keywords in the header and body, writing good meta description, and using all your space in your meta description, optimizing your images alt text, linking internally to your site. There's a lot of things. Go ahead.
So how do you do your images alt text? 'Cause I've read on it, but I haven't really tried.
As far as the technicalities of how you do it,
Yeah, is there something that you use or?
you want to make it so when you're basically imagine it like somebody is blind and they're listening to it. You want your alt text to fit in with it, like it kind of reads naturally, if you can. So like, there's a, Johnny went and sat down at the chair or at the table, and then your alt text would say, there's a picture, a picture of a man sitting down at a maroon chair. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't know if that's answering your question or not, but you want to kind of keep it so that it flows with your text a little bit, but also has some keywords in it if you can. It's not that important. I don't think that it has tons of keywords, but what you don't want is just random image text like Johnny sits down at the table. Image 15842, chair maroon -4521 JPEG.543 or something like that. So that's what you don't want, okay? But we can talk about SEO. We do, at Feldman Weber, we do SEO. And like I said, my partner, actually Matt Weber, is the SEO genius. So I kind of come from the copywriting and marketing side. He comes more from the web development and the SEO side. So we can definitely put you in touch if you're interested in that. This is where you can find me. So Fiverr.com, David_FF. That's my profile. You can see all of my copywriting gigs and everything that I'm doing there. And you can find us at feldmanweber.com as well. And that is it. Thank you for your time. Any questions? Thank you.